This livelihoods are disrupted, and is simple but very urgent. What changed? Why does it feel like things are getting worse? Now, amid this growing anxiety, Senate President Godswill Akpabio has put forward a controversial position that the recent surge in insecurity may be sponsored, a calculated attempt to distract the president and destabilize the government. Now, it's a claim that raises eyebrows and demands scrutiny. If true, it suggests a deeper, more coordinated threat within the nation's political and security architecture. But if not, it risks dismissing the lived realities of Nigerians who face violence daily. So today we ask, where is the evidence and what responsibility comes with making such a claim? Many Nigerians are going to ask in the Senate President. And at the same time, another development has sparked debate. The reintegration of 744 repentant militants into society, marked by public celebration and official endorsement. While rehabilitation and second chances are important components in peace building, many citizens are questioning the timing, the transparency, and the long-term implications. Are we rewarding past violence without securing future peace? What message does this send to victims and to those who still feel marginalized?
Let's get to some data and some stats. As at April 2025 alone, 570 persons were already killed and 278 were already kidnapped. And Nigeria had recorded thousands of kidnappings, of course, annually. Over 2,860 kidnappings cases happened in 2020 alone. But one thing for sure is the fact that the crisis did not even start today. What we are seeing is an escalation of an already entrenched insecurity architecture. Then you also see the different recent spike killings and mass atrocities in 2026. Instead of a decline, the country is witnessing more high casualty incidents and mass kidnappings, suggesting either a shift in tactics or failure in containment. Then you should also know that kidnapping is no longer in Nigeria presently a random crime. It is now a predictable economic model thriving on weak enforcement and high ransom returns, where we see even kidnappers now brandish on social media. They have the different online accounts and they brandish monies that have been received from ransom, and they do that. And many persons are wondering, where did we get it wrong? Each controversial military action raises a critical question: so far so good. Does it weaken terrorism or create new grievances that fuel the next wave of violence? Now, look at this way. Insecurity predates current administration through, driven by the following: poverty, weak policing, porous borders, and arms proliferation. End of the day, blaming sponsors may ignore deeper systemic failures. That's what we're seeing now.
Well, this morning we are connecting the dots between policy, politics, and people. Is Nigeria confronting insecurity with clarity and accountability? Or are we navigating it through competing narratives and short-term fixes? So it is over to you. Share your thoughts, your experiences, and your questions. We're going to be, bringing out the talking points for us to have the conversation. So in just a jiffy, the lines will be thrown open. 3 issues raised here after the bombing on December 25. Insecurity, terrorism has spiked. 2, the Senate President's comment that all of these are happening because some persons are trying to destabilize or distract the president. Does he have any evidence to that? 3, the recent celebration of reintegration, rehabilitation of 744 means fanfare somewhere in Gombe. Paul, you mentioned it somewhere in Gombe.
Yes.
Yeah, somewhere in Gombe. What are we talking about? So join us in the conversation, because here on Let's Talk Nigeria, every voice counts and every issue deserves a closer look. recently, Paul, we were just monitoring a program on one of the national television programs, and one of the guests made very, very interesting, submissions. And I thought that our listeners this morning might be interested to listen to what he has to say.
Very soon, bandits will be in the Senate and the House of Reps because Nigerians are paying them tax. If we look at the progression of insecurity in Nigeria in the past 3.5 years, places that we never thought they will go to, they are in Niger, they are in Kwara, they are progressing downwards into Nigeria. You see what they are doing, they come at will in Benue, in Plateau. Mr. President promised the victims in Plateau 2 weeks ago, it will never happen again. These people had the audacity to make it happen again the next day. They are daring the state. They are taunting us. When they kill our soldiers, they wear the uniform of our military and armed forces and go to what is called a mediation, arrangement with government, bodies to say they are mediating with this. In Katsina, this bandit wore the uniform of this assistant commissioner that died on duty in action. And he wore his uniform and came with his gun to the mediation and went home without consequences. So you are now situating it with the situation of the state. Of course they are doing it. They are on social media. We know their handles. They don't even care to cover their faces. They send notices and they come on the day of the notice and they execute. Now they are overrunning brigades. Not brigades in urban areas. Brigade in the theater of war. And they overrun the brigade. They kill our generals like every other day. Our colonels, we are missing the best of our assets because, first of all, we don't have the decisiveness to ensure that we do the needful in terms of the resource allocation. I agree. You see, you can allocate whatever money you want to allocate. But where are the outcomes? What are we doing about it? And if people fail in their responsibilities, we don't see heads rolling. In other countries, just one incident is enough to take out ministers, is enough to take out garrison commanders and have new ones in there. That is the only way you can have a sure-footed movement out of this issue. As it is today, build up to 2027 election, we have been politicizing, insecurity. The ruling party condescends about it, makes it look as if it's no issue, and then the opposition use it to posture while people are dying every day. This is an existential issue that we should take seriously across party lines, and we will deal with it. Otherwise, like I said earlier, it will still come down. You see, I said it in another sister station. Very soon, bandits will be in the Senate and the House of Reps because Nigerians are paying them tax. In the north, it is so bad that people are beginning to have confidence in them. They go to them for mediation. They go to them for protection. And we are saying we are making progress, and we are saying we should not talk about it.
For me, that is a drop line. The bandits, terrorists become members of the Senate and House of Representatives because of how bad it is, because people go to them for mediation, for negotiation, for discussions. And this is really damning, Paul. And when I watched the program, I said, no, there's something that we need to talk about this morning. And Paul, this is the situation we found ourselves, especially that case of 744 people celebrated, rehabilitated, and reintegrated to the system.
So that's why I want to start my conversation now, because according to what we have, over 700 individuals, they are former members of insurgent groups like Boko Haram and ISWAP, and they call them, they say they have been repentant. And it's a program. The individuals went through a program that is known as Operation Safe Corridor, a government-backed initiative designed to rehabilitate ex-terrorists through psychological counseling, religious reorientation, and vocational training. Now, the question is: are we building peace or recycling danger? So this is what it is now. For the people that the 700 plus individuals, these are the categories of persons that are there. Active fighters who may have participated in deadly attacks, logistic operatives who supported terror networks, the apologetics, because you already see them. We see where bandits are coming to some cities in some towns and villages in the northeast, and they're celebrating them. Those persons are there, and in some cases, abductees forced into insurgency.
No wonder Gumi said they are brothers.
Do you understand?
Sheikh Gumi saying they are brothers. You don't have to kill them.
So that is the weight of what's happening. But now, You were talking about, but yet today, if you're doing that, if this person is we have victims that are still in IDP camps. Many families have received no justice.
But these people have been rehabilitated.
Survivors continue to rebuild without state support. So that is on one side. But former insurgents, they are trained, rehabilitated, and prepared for reintegration. They've given them vocational training in sewing, in other things. They've attended to them. What about the hurting families? Is there any structure on ground to take care of them? The wounded soldiers, people that have gotten their limbs and part of them gone psychologically
as a result of IEDs.
As a result of IEDs and other things. What is there a support system? But the supporters of this program, the Operation Safe Corridor, are arguing that, of course, not every insurgent joined willingly. That's on one side. They are saying a military force alone cannot end terrorism, because if you go to other crimes, of course, you see that reintegration has always been a way globally from Sierra Leone to Colombia. But in those cases, this is what is very clear. They had clear accountability systems, victim compensation frameworks, which we are lacking in Nigeria to a massive weight, and there's transparency, truth, and reconciliation processes. Now, if you have these things, if you want, now you are saying you're bringing them and saying these guys are repentant, religious, psychological. Listen, our soldiers that go to the battlefield and they come back, how many of them are going through psychological recalibration? How many do we even do? A huge number of them are coming back and they come back with PTSD. They are down with PTSD. Mentally, they've been messed up. Of course, this is what they signed for, but you cannot do that for the soldiers that are in active service. Yet, you're bringing it for, they say, repentant. So that's what it says.
And can we ask this question? We just mentioned that the federal government in the 2026 appropriation bill has earmarked the appropriation bill, right, has earmarked 1.4 billion naira to prosecute Boko Haram. In 2025, 530 million was earmarked to prosecute these terrorists.
So it's 100%, over 100%
yes.
Increase.
Now, you're talking about rehabilitation. Yeah. I thought these people that were integrated would have been prosecuted, since 530 million naira was earmarked to prosecute these terrorists. So there is a contradiction, Paul, here. The contradiction here is that if you are going to reintegrate, if you are going to rehabilitate these people, why earmark an amount of money to prosecute these people?
Okay.
Are you trying? What I don't understand. I need an explanation to maybe someone else in government to really help out in this way, because these people that have been reintegrated, were active fighters, apologetics, and all of that. So these people were supposed to be prosecuted. Someone who's been an active fighter is a known terrorist. So the person is supposed to be prosecuted and not rehabilitated, because the federal government has already earmarked money to prosecute these people.
So now the question is, at what point did they repent?
That's the point now. So the question now is, before the repentance, like you said, at what point did they repent? Before the idea of earmarking 530 million last year in the budget, 2025, was to prosecute these people, not because they are going to be repentant or they are going to repent or something like that. So 530 million last year, 2025, was earmarked to prosecute.
Yeah.
Now this year, because they feel prosecution is important, the money has been increased to 1.4 billion naira to prosecute. Are we going to hear sometime later this year or next year that some of these people that will have been prosecuted have repented, and therefore they will have to be rehabilitated and reintegrated into the system? I don't understand. There's a contradiction.
Okay, now
now, Paul, listen to me.
Yeah.
If the federal government has said an amount of money has been earmarked to rehabilitate, then I can understand this. That 744, have been rehabilitated and reintegrated. But that was not what it is. Except we'll do some research to find out that in the 2025 budget, some amount of money was earmarked for rehabilitation. Then I can understand this whole program and whole project. But for now, I have not seen anything earmarked in the budget of 2025 for rehabilitation.
Okay.
Perhaps it might be there. It might be there. So if there is going to be, if terrorists will be rehabilitated, why then you earmark money for prosecution? Okay, now, while we're discussing this, it is expected that we would have been, Nigerians will have been told that for 2026 appropriation bill, this amount of money has been earmarked. That's 1.4 billion has been earmarked for prosecution, right? Then we should have been told that in 2026 appropriation bill, this amount of money has been earmarked for rehabilitation. But that is not there. That means it's not in the budget this year because we would have been told. So I want to believe that in the 2026 appropriation bill, nothing has been earmarked for rehabilitation.
I think the next thing you hear what might surface will be that when you get to that bridge, they'll cross it. But this is one thing.
You cross it without appropriating?
So let me ask
you cross it without appropriating?
These are the things that are concerning for Nigerians is the fact that it's issue of trust now. Communities are being asked to accept these persons, accept back individuals who might have terrorized them, who have killed them,
individuals who have killed Brigadier General Uba.
Do you understand?
Brigadier General Brima.
Yeah, and the
you know?
So now you want them to take them back into society without disclosure of their identities. There's no clear breakdown of what they did, who did what. Now, there's no strong guarantee of monitoring. What is is it this Nigeria that we are in, that you have 744? Then you now say, okay, you are going to release them and go. Who is monitoring who?
How do you even know that they've actually repented?
The question is now, okay, now you now release them. You now release them, kwa? Okay, you can now go. You didn't say, if all of that, okay, these are 744 Nigerians that were forced into this thing, that were abducted and were forced because they had no other choice than to align and everything. You know that you
trust their confession that they were forced.
Yeah, you know.
You trusted your confession that they were forced.
You know. So I'm just see. This is me just thinking aloud.
I know
that if they were forced, okay, you trusted confession like you said that they were forced, or maybe some of them, for the sake of the bullet, not to get the bullet, they will say, okay, we were forced. But in case anything that you're doing, how did we get to this point that we broke them into different categories to now form the 7 out of 44 and say, okay, we cannot even monitor ourselves that are free.
Only those who rehabilitated them know their name.
Then you are
their
now,
names.
Okay, the question is, you are releasing them. Who's going to be monitoring these guys when they reintegrate into the society? Do not forget that presently we are fighting a guerrilla warfare, and that is the most difficult war to fight. If you are fighting people that are very different, this is what it is. They camouflage. It is going to be in the midst of society. They are in the community. They're in society. How do you now monitor them? You're giving them vocational training. What about the people whose houses have gone down, IDP camps and everything? We can do better.
Well, let's give you some scale of killings and violence. In 2025 alone, violence reportedly led to 4,654 deaths across Nigeria. A more recent policy analysis shows a 134% increase in attacks and a 74% rise in deaths compared to 2024. Now, in early 2026, a single coordinated attack killed over 160 people in Kwara State, highlighting how mass casualty incidents are still occurring. Now, this suggests not just persistence, but intensification and the lethality of attacks. Now, between July 2024 and June 2025, at least 2,938 people were kidnapped in northwest Nigeria alone. This is a report according to the Human Rights Watch. Now, in April 2025, 278 were kidnapped, 570 were killed, according to the Nigeria Rights. Now, nationally, 300,141 people were kidnapped in 2025. Now, these reports are damning. 79% of Nigerians say kidnapping is a serious problem. 48% describe it as very serious, 1 in 3 Nigerians, that is 33%, show or know someone who has been kidnapped, and 63% reported feeling unsafe at least once in the past year. So you can go on to reel out the statistics that are really damning. Now, the question we want to put out there before we open the phone lines, the talking points, right, are these. Is this spike is this a spike or a pattern? Because over 4,600 Nigerians reportedly killed and more than 3,100 kidnapped in just 1 year. Now, this is not a blip, it's a pattern. So the question is, are we dealing with a temporary surge, or has insecurity become a permanent feature of national life? Now, these are the talking points. Now, talking point number 2 is that when nearly 8 in 10 Nigerians say kidnapping is a serious problem, and 1 in 3 knows a victim, can we realistically describe insecurity as a sponsored distraction? Or is that narrative disconnected from lived experience? Now, talking point number 3 is, if insecurity is being sponsored, where is the evidence? That is according to the Senate President poll.
Yeah.
And if there is no clear evidence, are we risking misdiagnosing the problem? Are we misdiagnosing the problem and therefore failing to solve it? These are some of the questions. And of course, after the December 25 military action in Sokoto, we are seeing reports of increased violence, as we have reeled out. Could this be unintended consequences? That's retaliation, regrouping, or displacement of armed groups? And with thousands killed yearly and hundreds killed monthly, do current government responses match the scale and urgency of the crisis? There are a lot of questions to ask.
Can I also add? Because we'll talk about the barrage of questions now. This is one thing. Nigeria can mobilize funds quietly to rehabilitate over 700 ex-terrorists, which is true, yet cannot clearly tell citizens how much was budgeted, because you talked about there's no clear-cut budget. The budget comes from different things, from the office of the NSA, the defense, and everything for Operation Safe Corridor. But yet, now, if you want to ask these things now, can you point Nigerians to the exact budget that line that funds Operation Safe Corridor in 2026? That's one. What is the per capita cost of rehabilitating one repentant terrorist? How does this compare to what government spends on each internally displaced person?
Good question.
So if you have this amount of money, because it is quiet for 744, they say it is monies that go for rehabilitating these guys runs billions annually. Now, how much goes in for the compensation of internally displaced persons?
My question is that, is it appropriated? You just
there.
mentioned the monies
It's not there,
that go for the rehabilitation of those people
It's
run
not
into
there.
billions.
It's not there.
Are these monies appropriated in the in the budget? Okay, 744 repentant militants are being reintegrated with public celebration. But what about the victims, like you said? Are we balancing peace building with justice, or neglecting those who suffered? So when you mentioned that point, I was really, really interested in it. Yeah. Now, if former militants receive support and attention, what message does that send to struggling but law-abiding citizens like us?
What about? Do not also forget fundamentally the soldiers that the people that are at the forefront, at the battlefield, that lose their lives.
Good.
And the families. What happens to them?
Yeah. So could this unintentionally encourage others to take up arms? Because they're like, okay, right, if these people are given these opportunities and at the end of the day they'll be rehabilitated and given all of the juicy stuff, should I also go take up arms? And when 63% of Nigerians say they felt unsafe recently, what does that say about public confidence in insecurity, in security institutions? So these are some of the talking points we want you to react to. I think we're going to open the phone lines right now. 0707 747 1522 and 0912 000 1975. We've given you enough background for you to react to, but make sure you keep it very brief as always, because there are a lot of people who want to contribute to this conversation. And remember, Golden FM is being listened to all over the world, so when you speak, they will hear you. Policymakers, government will hear you. So let's get to hear from you. Hello and welcome to the show.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, Collins from Obele.
Welcome.
My brother, you see, the number 3 of the statement where you drop, so make we talk our mind. Waiting I want to talk for that one, you say, waiting the apple for not, na investment. You know, when person don't invest, you be reaping. So the people where they sponsor all the whole problem there, they don't already invest. So for them to stop, it go hard. But God will punish them. Make that fight go. Now, somebody will be say kill a uniform man, wear the same uniform, come occasion. When I think say that thing now, this something where they post on social media. But as I play the tape and where the man talk and now confirm, so this is not truth. I want to ask a question, my brother, no first. That can't say go fear for Bayelsa. No, to talk the truth. If that can't say go fear for Bayelsa. You remember what he made the white body? People talk the truth though. What he made the white body? I think all of us know about it. Now somebody go just take ordinary flag, call and say na Biafra flag. You go arrest them, put them underground prison, punish them. There's somebody will kill our brothers, our sisters from northern states where they give us food to break it, where we enjoy this country. Person kill the finish. Then you don't go say they don't repent. Then tomorrow you want to meet another people don't go join Boko Haram. You see, let me tell you, we there for Genesis. So
All right, conclude.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Appreciate you, sir. This are the things we were talking about. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning. Welcome to the show. Hello. I lost that. Call back, okay? Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, people.
Good morning.
Nade.
Well,
No. Yes, my name is Elda Dishinga Campbell. I'm calling from the Lano Government House.
welcome.
You see, my brother. Sometimes when I'm talk for the sometimes I just as you say, make I cry. Nigeria, we are willfully doing what's supposed not to be done. They know what they are doing. You know what they are doing. Okay, let us just say in Niger Delta, they granted amnesty. They granted amnesty based on this. They should not destroy the oil pipe so that the oil streams continue to flow. That's the reason why they are getting something from Niger Delta. So what are they getting from this person? For instance, my brother was in the army. These people killed my brother. Maybe my family has not been compensated. Married with 3 or 4 wives, and I am now catering for these children. Now the person that kill my brother, you are now giving them. You are not freeing them. My brother, it's not done now. It's not done. Concerning what the city president said, you see, the Americans should know that these people they are sponsoring more terrorists to degrade this is the American military. They are sponsoring more terrorists to degrade American military. That the American military that the people brought. What have they done? Did they do anything? This is kidnapping and other parties is not increasing. That is exactly what is happening. So my brother, so we should pray and we should maybe open our eye for this our area. Maybe open our eye wide for this our area. Thank you and God bless.
Well, thank you very much. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Dr. Moy Steve, and good morning, Paul Bassa.
Good morning.
Good morning to you.
Yes, Comrade Abraham Nelson, calling from Tumbia Ikpechama.
Welcome.
Thank you, sir. First of all, let me start with the statement of our Senate President, Sir Godswill Akpabio, saying that terrorists are being sponsored by some persons to stabilize the current administration of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. If he has such information, so why hasn't the military, the army, the air force, even the DSS, the navy, why haven't they swooped in, to apprehend those sponsorers, arrest them, try them, and if they are found guilty, sentence them to learn and let them go and serve. So instead of coming to the public to say people are sponsoring terrorism to destabilize this government, you should just give the information to the military if you know them. Just like what one of the callers said, you see this insecurity matter in Nigeria, it has turned into a business. Let us be sincere to ourselves. Some big players in the north, they are using it to make money. You said it on one of your explanations that some people have social media accounts that are even displaying the wealth that they've made from kidnappings. Who have arrested them? So it is very sad. I just pity our military personnel, our officers who go there to actually do the right thing, and at the end, some of them are caught up in the brouhaha, something that they do not even know of, something that they did not even create or they didn't even bargain for. So I just pity them.
All right, then.
While some other persons are making so much money from it.
Thank
you.
you.
The government, sincerely, let me round up, sir. The government of Nigeria is not sincere about fighting insecurity, and they are not telling us the truth. They are lying.
All right,
thank you very much.
Thank you.
Just before you pick the next call.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
The children that were abducted for the JAMB, that Benue Link, this thing.
Jam rejected it initially, but now look at it.
Do you know
because the next day after the report, Paul,
yeah,
they were the JAM came up to say that was not the true. The people who were on board that bus, that vehicle, were not people who were going to take the exam.
The question is, how did they even know?
But yesterday,
the parents,
the governor, Alia,
yes,
said they were.
Because the parents are saying, parents of the two of the kidnapped children are saying that the abductors are asking for 9 million naira for each person. 9 million naira for each person. People that were going to go write JAMB.
But why did JAMB even come to, debunk that in the first place?
Those are the questions you ask yourself, because those are the things you just do. Because
and now the governor, governor of the state, that 13 of them have been returned or something like that. They've gained their freedom or something.
But definitely for the parents that say they ask for 9 million naira for one person, do you think they would just return them?
Really terrible situation that we have there. We'll have some messages. Make sure you send your message to messages to the number 0912 000 1975. Okay, send a WhatsApp message to 0912 000 1975. Okay. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Okay, the line is not too clear. Your line is not too clear. Hello? Okay, you might need to call back or change your location.
Maybe just do that. Okay.
Just change your location and we'll hear you clearly.
Yes, we do. Hello, good morning. Hello. Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. I believe the network is cut me off that time.
Okay, crossing.
Yeah. Concerning this matter, I think a lot of people, they are saying everything finished concerning the insecurity. Because I think the other people, most of the top politicians, they are using this thing like a business something. Most of the governors, they are collecting this thing because of the security allowance. But me, I suggest say all this is mentality, because I'll be governor of the state. I will just go collect the contract to just destroy my community when I be a leader of the community, which is very wrong. Sometimes that's why you see the terrorists, they are kind of in the daytime. They're using bike, all of them, they carry guns. And soldiers, they will see them. All of them, they can jump for road. They can say, they don't even send us to go and fight them, which is very wrong. So please, the Nigeria government should be welcome. If not, this Boko Haram, I not even trust them. At the end of the day, they can go back to their drum bomb again. So they should not even trust them. Thank you and God bless you.
Thank you very much. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Maurice, Stephen and Paul Bassa.
Good morning.
Good morning to you.
This is Jackson. I'm calling from Empire. Yeah, it's really terrible how people that we look up to for protection by virtue of their position in society are the same people creating chaos for us. And then we are talking. These discussions have been on air for over a long time. We are begging, we are pleading, we are praying for solutions. But every day, the revelations that come from that off part of the country, the seat of power, is the one that will put fear in your mind, discourage you, make you feel like you are left alone to die. It is really fearful. It is very terrible. This is not just because whoever that is responsible for this chaos is stronger than the federal government of Nigeria. But it's because it seems like they allow it, or they are partaker of it, they are in connivance with it. So we talk. What will this our talk change what we are experiencing now? That is the number one question. It is something that is like as if we don't care about you people. Just like I heard on the news, the president came to the airport and left back. And that day in the airport, he told them that I will make sure that this never happens again. The next day, they struck in the presence of all the security personnel that are there. It's like as if we are wasting our time talking, and whoever that is in charge of what is happening is held bound to make sure that they mortgage the country to make resources out of it. They are borrowing money from international communities. They are collecting the one we have inside there. Then they keep causing insurgency to affect us. And they say, let us breathe. How can we breathe in the face of all this?
Okay. Thank you for your contribution, Jackson. I appreciate you. Let's give others opportunities to speak as well. Hello, good morning.
Hello, Ivan Polo. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Jerry.
I'm calling from Azikrota.
All right.
Brother, I can see how high rates of annoyance in you guys. The way but my own concern is a very simple matter. It is not done in the way Nigeria government is doing it elsewhere. 747, 774 to be released into the Nigerian system, repented according to them. How are we sure that they are not bringing up to 8,000 or 7,000 people to this country? What I don't have to say to them is this: there is no problem. Since we have governors, we have senators, we have a speaker, senate speaker, and whatever they call them, they are relaxing. Play with this country. There is no problem. One day the gravitational force will take its place. The gravitational force will take its place in this country. They are bringing in. How are we sure? Even in a modern world, it is not done. Just like one of the callers said, this is a man that is with flag. And he says that he wants to go. They will kill the person. But these people are those people that are killing our generals, our commanders, our lieutenants. They are telling us they want to bring them back to society. There's no problem.
Because some of them were forced to it. Some of them were forced into terrorism or banditry.
There's no problem. But let them be there investing our money